Yeah, probably one of our best 16, 17 minutes of basketball we've played. We were constantly telling our guys the last week, week and a half, we were getting better in practice. Unfortunately, we were playing a lot of those money guarantee games, and our opponent was just a little bit bigger and a little bit more talented. So it was good for our guys to see the results because I think as a coaching staff, we could feel that our kids were getting better through practice. And you're just going to get better over time because, as conference play starts, I think these young guys, especially our freshmen, they start understanding roles. They also start understanding that every play is so crucial. So I thought we limited the number of plays that we took off, and then we were able to get the win. No, what we did, Dana, we really, really shortened our bench. Noe Anabar didn't get in. Ferguson played very little, and Akuche did not get in. We thought those 7 guys were playing so well. You look in the second half, and those other guys didn't get in. But as I told our guys the other day, conference plays a grind. Any league in America, you have to have a bench, 2 games in 48 hours. So our bench is going to have to be a big part of our success here the next couple days. Yeah, I guess we haven't played a home game, Rob told me today, since November 29th. So not only are you excited for your players to get back here into Youngstown, kind of get settled in, you're excited about conference play, but you're also more excited for your fans. You want to show your fans and the people that support you how much better you've gotten here, and then really just see some faces again in this building. We've had so many practices where nobody's in here. It'll be nice to see some people that we haven't seen in a while. Yeah, I think so, Dana. We've been battle tested, man. We've been road tested. We played, according to the experts, Ken Palm, their site. We played the 101st, 101. I think was our strength of schedule. Ended up being non-conference. Of course, that number is going to change depending on what those opponents do. But just adding it up the other day, I think it's like 98 and 64, something like that, close. Our opponents, non-conference opponents' records. Teams like South Dakota's 13 and 4. Northern Colorado, Butler, beats the number 1 team in the country the other day. So, of course, you're going to be better from playing in some of those venues, playing those teams, practicing, putting in the hours. And I think our rotations are better. We're starting Cam at the point. We're bringing Jalen Benton off the bench to slide Cam to the 2. That's been a nice little mixture for us. Our freshmen are continually to get better. And probably the guy that nobody's really talking about that had a huge impact on that game. I thought Naz Bohannon was close for freshman of the week, averaging almost a double-double in the Indiana-Cleveland State game, was Tyree Robinson. He's really coming into his own, scoring the basketball in that low block. So he played a big part of that win. Yeah, he's going to have season-ending knee surgery tomorrow, Dana. Not only myself, but our athletic director Ron Strollo. Part of the reason I took this job was because the constant message about the student athletes. Ron and his staff do such a good job of really wanting these kids to have a great experience here while they're at YSU. We want them to come back. We want their children to come back. So our hearts really hurt for Cisco. It's my hope. I think it's Ron's hope that we go through, get him the surgery tomorrow, get him recuperating. It's going to be a lot of highs and a lot of lows for that young man, but to try to get that year back, we're going to go through the process of trying to get the 6 year back. There's a lot of details that have to be worked out. But we had a really good meeting yesterday with his family, and we want to do what's best for Cisco. And what's best for him is you have a young man here that came to Youngstown State and took out loans, paid his tuition, paid his own way to go to school here after transferring from a Division II. So we're hoping the NCAA comes back and says he can have another year. The timeline, there's a lot of things that have to be worked out. Emily Wallet is really, really good at what she does. She'll be in charge of that along with Elaine Jacobs. Both of those senior administrators have been tremendous since we got here, and they're going to work through that process with his family. Milwaukee's really what college basketball is about. They went through a coaching change. Last year they took their lumps. They just kept getting better and better. They find themselves 40 minutes away from NCAA March Madness. They make the championship game as a 10 seed, and then this year they have a coaching change. Their coach leaves, and he goes back to Butler, and then in comes a new staff with a lot of returning players. I think they're a really good basketball team. I think they're a team that will finish top 4 in our league. When you watch them, you see a team. These kids have been around each other. The teams that are usually successful at this level have got some equity built up amongst each other. And that's what that group has. They help one another. They all know their role. They have great bench guys. They don't beat themselves. They like to play slow. They're very methodical, but they're very efficient in what they do. So we'll have to be ready, these next 24 hours. We got to get some good rest tonight. We got to have a good workout here today. But our kids should be excited. Anytime you can win your first game on the road, any league in America, you've got to try to steal some on the road, and you've got to win your home games, especially being a young team. So I was happy we were able to win that game. But our kids know we got a long way to go. Yeah, I've been around doubleheaders all my life, from my time, at Walsh University and then my time at Fairmont State. There's different opinions on doubleheaders. Some coaches, had a little bit of concern for it at league meetings. They don't like the doubleheaders. They don't like waiting around. To me, it's great for our fans. The number one concern is your basketball team, but the number two concern is your fans. And that's why I didn't like our schedule for our fans in December. But I hope they understand their schedule is going to get really good in the next couple of years. But it's a chance for our fans to see 2 games, 2 teams that they love, to come out on the same night, especially with this weather and all the illnesses that are going around. I know our team's, fighting it a little bit. It makes it easy for the fans to get down here to Bigley and see both teams play. So I'm a big favorite, a big fan of it. Thank you. Yeah, we're one thing we wanted to talk real quick about is we're having a reunion for all former players. We're going to get together on Friday, January 19th, the night before the IUPUI game. We're doing a basketball reunion. We've got a great 24-hour setup for those players. We're going to come in and throw a dinner for them on Friday night. Then on Saturday, they'll come to the game, come to shoot around. They'll get introduced at the game. So we want to try to just spread that word, Dane, if you could, on social media and maybe in the paper and the news. But one of the things we want to do is get the former players back. So this is going to be a great basketball reunion. Not only players, but coaches, anybody that was involved in men's basketball. Because I think it's all about players. I think it's all about these players having a great experience. And not only, when they leave, we want them to come back and be very, very proud. And that's really a big reason why we played a lot of the non-conference games. I didn't think we had enough tradition in history up on the walls of our building. We need pictures of former players, former coaches, the city of Youngstown. So you go play 4.5 money games. So when these former players come back, they see that it meant something to not only our current players and our coaching staff, but we want to be able to see some of the changes that we have made since we've gotten here. Yeah, 20th. They'll come in on the 19th. We're going to do a really, really nice dinner for them in the DeBartolo Stadium Club. Mingle, hang out, and then come to the shoot-around and come to the game Saturday.